Scott Grayson's got Grayson's grades. They're posted right now at 973ESPN.com. He also has a article up on the Eagles' defense. Scott, what was the mood in the locker room on the defensive side of the ball yesterday after that game?
Honestly, it was, I think, a big sigh of relief that they got the win, but the defense knows they played badly. It was not like I've seen these guys after previous games. They know they dodged a bullet. They were not happy with their play on the defensive side. Guys on offense were, for the most part, in pretty good moods. It was all the defensive guys that clearly recognized that was a stinker of a game on their part, and they were lucky to get a win.
Malcolm Jenkins, he's a guy that's been the leader. You gave him a B. I think he's been struggling the last couple of weeks. He kind of personifies that secondary there. So, him, one of the things that this team did so well, led by him, is tackle. I see him making a lot of missed tackles. It seems that he's a lot more around the ball when there's missed tackles happening the last couple of weeks.
I would agree with that. And here's the thing. I think the bad tackling is getting a little contagious, which is, if you're obviously an Eagles fan, that's where your point of concern needs to be. Is it something that's easy to fix? It should be, and I think they'll get it fixed. But right now, it's been a little contagious. And you're right, Malcolm's one of the guys who's missed some. I know Ronald Darby missed one yesterday. Rodney McLeod missed one yesterday. And they lead to these 50, 60-yard touchdown plays. Those are backbreakers for your defense. Now, you mentioned the B I gave Malcolm Jenkins. That's largely from the contributions he made on special teams. If it was on the defensive side, he clearly would have gotten a lower grade because he has not had a great game in a while defensively.
And your strongest grade with the red pen, Scott, went to Jalen Mills. So why did he get the F? I don't remember you giving a lot of Fs this season. This is a pretty strong grade for Jalen Mills.
Well, the frustration there and why he got the F was the poor holding penalties at just the worst times. And, I mean, they get a third down stop. Everything looks great. But there's the flag, and it was a clear hold on his part. I mean, he's got to do a better job. And I did put this in there. To his credit, he has played very well this season. This was his worst game of the season. But the holding penalties, because there were multiple ones called against him, as well as some other mistakes he had in the game as well, really made me have to give him an F. I mean, I just felt like that was his worst performance of the season. And, he wasn't the only one who played one of his worst games on the defensive side of the ball. It was just a common theme.
Yeah, Rodney McLeod also down in the low grades. You gave him a D.
Yep. He again, I mentioned the missed tackle he had. They make those plays. They've been making them. And then those drives don't end in touchdowns. Perhaps they end in field goals or punts. And that's just been the biggest difference. I mean, Rodney McLeod, to me, also hasn't had a great game in a while. Now, he almost made an amazing interception in the back of the end zone. And those are the kind of things I think good teams and great teams tend to do, and they have not been coming up with them. Well, you can look at Nigel Bradham he's had 3 in the last 2 weeks here that should have been interceptions. I think the one yesterday might have even been a pick six if you caught it. So that, there's some things that they've just got to tweak. I mean, that's kind of the gist of the article I wrote was defensively, it's not like the sky is falling, as Chris Long said. It's a matter of tweaking and fixing up some things that it seems like they've gotten lazy on the last 2 weeks.
And on the plus side of the defense, Brandon Graham with a decent game. You gave him a B. He had a sack. I think he's only a half a sack away from getting a performance bonus or reaching a performance bonus, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he's already gotten one of them, and I think he's about to hit another level. You're right. He's at 9.5 now for the season with that sack yesterday. And that's hard to do against Eli Manning because if there's one thing he does, it's get rid of the ball quickly. And those slants were open all day for him, so there wasn't much of an opportunity to even get back there. But credit Brandon Graham. He was constantly, I shouldn't say constantly, but occasionally, disrupting things in that pocket. And that's how you beat Eli. You have to hit him. You have to let him know you're there. But you got to get there quickly because he doesn't hold on to the ball long. And I thought Brandon Graham did a pretty good job of that yesterday.
Check out all of Grayson's grades at 973ESPN.com. Jim Schwartz, what'd you think of the game plan yesterday?
Didn't like it.
Gave him a D, by the way.
Yeah, I did not like the game plan in the sense that, it just didn't seem like they were prepared for what the Giants were going to do. Giants did a lot of the same things they did in the first game against them. And it just didn't look like they were prepared for it. Normally, I'm a fan of Jim Schwartz, and I like his philosophy for the most part. But they just seemed like they kind of sat back and let Eli pick them apart, and that's not. I just don't think Eli Manning is that guy anymore. But he looked at yesterday, to his credit, and he just kept hitting those slants. The double moves were there because I think the Giants recognized that they could pick on the Eagles' aggression and use it against them. You know, they bid on the first move, and there's these wide open passes over, on the double move. And those are things I just felt like in Jim Schwartz's case, in the past with the bad tackling, the guys have been there and they just haven't made the plays. So the coach has done his job. He's put you in position to make the plays. Yesterday, I just didn't feel like they were prepared or in position to make the plays. And that goes on the coach.
All right, more from Scott at 973ESPN.com. Check out Grayson's grades and his story on this Eagles defense. Scott will be in here on Friday as well on the Sports Bash 97.3 ESPN a couple days next week as well. So plenty from Scott as the Eagles Christmas night take on the Raiders on Monday Night Football, a win, and they secure home field advantage throughout. Thanks, Scott.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a good one.